Alms with a difference. One day Buddha stood outside the door of a house and begged for alms. When he knocked on the door, it was opened by a woman. Surprised to see a mendicant standing at her doorstep seeking alms early in the morning, she scolded Buddha and slammed the door angrily on his face. A neighbor who was standing outside his house and watching the entire scene felt elated on seeing Buddha being humiliated, for he harbored a great dislike of all Buddha. The next day Buddha again knocked at the door of the same house asking for alms. This time the woman became furious as soon as she saw Buddha and threw garbage on him. Coincidentally, that day too the same neighbor witnessed the scene and was overjoyed at the insults meted out to Buddha. Unable to hold himself back, the neighbor rubbed his hands together and laughed in glee. Paying no heed to the man, the next day Buddha walked toward the same house for the third time to seek alms. This time the neighbor looked at Buddha with a shocked expression on his face, astonished to see him walking towards the brilliant woman's house even after being repeatedly humiliated by her. Before Buddha could proceed further, the neighbor stopped him on his way and said, "I am a Brahmin and a bitter opponent of your techniques. I vehemently disapprove of your view against Hindu scriptures. So far I was very happy to see you being humiliated by the woman. However, today I am a little surprised on seeing you. I fail to understand why you have returned to the woman's doorstep seeking alms even after being insulted." Buddha simply smiled and replied, "There is nothing surprising about this. You are shocked because you have no experience of human psychology. Insulting someone or even hurling garbage at them is also an act of giving. Repulsion is also a form of attraction. If the woman gave me garbage yesterday, then one day she will give me food as well." Unconvinced by Buddha's words, the neighbor decided to quietly watch the drama. Instead of replying to him, he thought with glee, "Let us see what happened when he knocked on the door. Let the woman hurl burning embers of oil on Buddha. Then I will have this discussion with him again." Buddha continued on his way and reached the woman's house. He knocked on the door, and when the woman saw him at the door for the third time, she became livid with rage. Leaving the door ajar, she rushed inside the house and ran with a broom to beat Buddha. The woman had decided to end his matter once and for all. She lifted the broom to strike him, but when her eyes fell on Buddha's face, the Buddha slipped out on her hands. His calm and smile countenance shocked her to the very core of her being. Although the urge to hate Buddha was strong, she could not bring herself to strike him. She was so captivated by the gentle ripple of a lotus-like smile playing on his lips that she stood transfixed. Gathering her wit, she quietly went inside the house and returned with two rotis and put them in Buddha's bowl. Expressing gratitude to her for the bhiksha alms, Buddha turned to go, but the woman could no longer contain her emotion and fall at Buddha's feet, seeking forgiveness for her previous action. Buddha gently placed it and calmed her. Watching for a distance, the neighbor was see this sudden turn of event. Moved to tears at Buddha's compassion, he came running across the road and fell at Buddha's feet, pleading with Buddha to intern him into his fold. Embracing the man, Buddha told him with a smile, "I have never received alms from any household that were greater than what I have received today. Along with food, I have received a discipline too."